In this divided world, small acts of kindness stood out like beacons of hope. At a bustling bus stop, we find Rosa Parks, a woman whose quiet strength belied the fire of determination within her.
Oh, thank you, dear. These old bones ain't what they used to be.
It's no trouble at all, ma'am. We all need a helping hand sometimes.
But in the heart of this one woman, a spark of defiance was about to ignite a movement that would change the course of history.
They should know their place.
Rosa's eyes flashed with a mix of sadness and resolve. She'd heard such words before, but today would be different. You see, Rosa Parks wasn't just a tired seamstress. She was a committed activist, prepared for this moment by years of struggle and careful planning. Her life was a tapestry of dedication to the cause of equality. From NAACP meetings to civil rights workshops, from late-night strategy sessions to quiet moments of personal reflection, Rosa had been preparing for this moment her entire life. She understood that change would not come easily, but she was ready to play her part in the long march towards justice. As the bus filled up, tension crackled in the air like static electricity. A white man boarded, looking expectantly at the filled seats.
Y'all better make it light on yourselves and let me have those seats.
The driver's command echoed through the bus, each word a stark reminder of the indignities faced daily. In that moment, years of preparation and pent-up frustration culminated in Rosa's mind. We see flashes of her past, NAACP meetings, whispered plans, faces of her family.
No, not today, not anymore, you may do that.
With those 4 words, barely above a whisper yet deafening in their defiance, Rosa Parks didn't just refuse to give up her seat. She stood her ground against centuries of oppression, igniting a spark that would soon burst into the flames of revolution. Her act of courage would resonate far beyond Montgomery, touching hearts and minds across the nation. As Rosa Parks was led off the bus in handcuffs, her dignity intact, the air itself seemed to change. Can you feel it? The winds of change, stirring in the streets of Montgomery.
Come on now, you're under arrest.
I understand.
In a small, smoke-filled room, local civil rights leaders gathered. The air was thick with tension and possibility. And there, rising to his feet, was a young minister named Martin Luther King, Jr.
Friends, this is not just about one woman or one bus. This is our chance to challenge the entire system of segregation. We must act now, with courage and unity, to bring about the change we seek.
His words hung in the air, heavy with the weight of their potential. In that moment, Rosa's act of courage began to transform from a spark into a flame. What happened next was nothing short of miraculous. Watch closely now, as a community comes alive.
Pass it on. Monday we walk.
In just a matter of days, the Montgomery Improvement Association was born, with the charismatic King at its helm. The stage was set for a drama that would captivate the nation. And then, on December 5, 1955, Montgomery awoke to a sight it had never seen before. The buses, those iron chariots of segregation, rolled through the streets virtually empty. For you see, the black citizens of Montgomery, a full 70% of the bus ridership, had chosen to stand up by sitting out. As the first day of the boycott came to a close, the air hummed with a new energy. In churches, in barbershops, in quiet kitchens, people dared to hope. Could this be the beginning of something truly revolutionary? The spark of change had been ignited, and its light was spreading across Montgomery. As days turned to weeks and weeks to months, the resolve of Montgomery's black citizens was tested in ways they could never have imagined. Can you feel the weight of their sacrifice, the daily struggle they endured? The opposition grew fierce. Police harassed carpools, fined drivers, arrested protesters, but still they persevered, their spirits unbroken.
Martin, the baby.
We must meet hate with love, Coretta. We must meet violence with nonviolence.
The bombing of Dr. King's home was a stark reminder of the dangers they faced, yet it only strengthened their resolve. But as 1956 drew to a close, even the strongest began to waver. The toll of the boycott weighed heavily on everyone. Had their sacrifice been in vain?
I know it's hard. But remember, we're not just walking for ourselves. We're walking for our children, and our children's children. Every step we take is a step towards freedom.
In that moment, comforting others, Rosa found her own strength renewed, and she wasn't alone. Across Montgomery, In churches and homes, in beauty parlors and on street corners, the spirit of resistance burned on. Each step, each day without riding the buses, was a quiet act of revolution. Their unity was their strength.
Breaking news. The U.S. Supreme Court has declared bus segregation unconstitutional.
And then, just when it seemed the road ahead was endless, a ray of hope pierced through the clouds. On November 13, 1956, their perseverance paid off. The news spread like wildfire, igniting celebrations across the city.
Hooray! We did it! Thank the Lord! Our prayers have been answered!
The year-old protest against city buses is officially called off, and the Negro citizens of Montgomery are urged to return to the buses tomorrow morning on a non-segregated basis.
Is this real? After all we've been through, can it really be this simple?
Good morning, ma'am. Where would you like to sit?
I believe I'll sit right here, thank you.
Miss Parks, I'm glad you're here.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear